Here we are in Lyster, Quebec for a lumberjack competition. They call them bûcherons, I call them tough guys. And they're throwing some bullseyes. We're ready for some chopping and some sawing. Are you guys ready for some lumberjacks?
Lumberjacks is sponsored by Echo, only professional grade with 5-year warranty. Crown, protect, maintain, save. The new YouFind Fish app. Fish with your phone. Humminbird, simply, clearly better.
We're here in the small agricultural community of Lyster, Quebec, just about 2 hours from Montreal. Hi, I'm Bill Deba, co-host and lumberjack sport analyst. Rod Cumberland is with me. We got a great field of competitors here, that's for sure. This week we're looking at the axe throw, the obstacle pole, the hot saw, and the standing block chop. Now I know Dave Jewett is my favorite to win this thing, but who else is going to stand up and give him a challenge?
In the standing block chop, there's a couple of young guns coming out of the States right now. Calvin Willard and also Bucket. Nathan Waterfield, both great choppers. They can give him a run for the money in the standing block chop.
Now in the hot saw, when you talk about competitions in Quebec, you got all those French Canadians that are going to compete for the overall championship, that's for sure. Which of the favorites do you like there?
Tough one to call again. The Bertrand, Simon Bertrand, very good hot sawyer. He manufactured them. Paul Woodland from New Brunswick, no slouch at all, holds world records in the hot saw. J.P. Mercier, man, you could just go on and on and on. There's all kinds of great hot sawyers here. It's going to be fast and furious.
That's right, fast and furious, just like this waterfall here, actually. Quebec is a great place for a lumberjack competition. It's a large part of their French-Canadian heritage. The bûcherons, as they call it in French, are full of the leaderboard. We got 4 French Canadians, the bûcherons, chasing Dave Jewett. He's got 450 points, 2/3 of the way through the competition. It's really his show to lose or win at this point. If he doesn't fall flat in his face, he's going to take this thing. We're about to get started with the standing block chop.
Calvin Willard from Barnet, Vermont, and I'm a consulting forester.
Hello, I'm Martijn Harms. I'm from the Netherlands. I live in Odoorn, and I work for the States Forestry.
Well, it's nice to see Martijn Harms here traveling around North America, going to a couple of lumberjack competitions with his buddy Ilko de Beer. Actually, they're traveling with the Waterfields, Holly and Nathan Waterfield, taking on Calvin Willard from Vermont.
Calvin's a great axeman. He loves the axe events, and we'll see him here in the standing block cut. Put a great front in. He missed his lines there on his bottom swings, but look at these stanchions wobbling all over. That's really going to distract the chopper.
Well, it's distracting the chopper. It takes and absorbs a lot of the energy. They're not going to get the penetration they'd like to, and it's like hitting a moving target. They're still rocking.
That's right. Putting the final few blows in here, Calvin, but it looks like Willard's going to be off first.
Calvin Willard wins the first heat with a time of 20.16 over Martijn Harms, and he's got a really good chop here, and this guy's come a long way. Went to a show a couple of weeks ago. He beat Dave Jewett in a standing block chop head-to-head.
Whenever you beat Dave Jewett, I think I've only done it once in my life. You want to put that one on your wall. Great ending there. He drove his firewood well. That's what you want to do, your last few drivers, to get the block off. Now we're going to look at Paul Woodland and Jonathan Blaze. Of course, Jonathan through the college ranks. Paul Woodland, a good buddy of mine back in New Brunswick. We've been competing for, over 20 years now.
Well, they're chopping through 12 inches of aspen right now. You see the discoloration in the wood. The wood is really wet, and it's good. The guys are saying it's pretty consistent at this show.
Look at the block so much more. Well, I guess Jonathan's is still wobbling. Paul's is a lot more solid. Looks like he put a few more bags of sand on his block, so his is going to be a little bit more solid to hit.
And once again, Jonathan, maybe he didn't think he was a heavy enough hitter to move that stand, but it is moving on him. Paul Woodland's got a nice solid stand there, and Jonathan Blay looks like he might be able to take down Paul Woodland at this point, looking for a 20.16. Jonathan Blay just edges out Paul Woodland in a standing block chop. So I know some of the wood here is basswood, but the standing block is aspen, a little bit firmer, but that wasn't a surprise to you.
It wasn't a surprise when we were preparing the wood at the beginning. We were putting slab nails, and we kind of knew right off the bat that this wood was going to be a lot tougher than the under end wood.
So you got to keep your lines. Your lines are pretty good there, which makes your chop fairly efficient.
You got to follow your lines. Like if you miss your lines, it's going to miss hits and cost you a lot of time.
I'm Gaston Duperret. I'm living to Saint-Henri-de-Taillon, Lac Saint-Jean. Working for Rio Tinto Alcan to Saguenay.
I'm Marcel Dupuis from Memramcook, New Brunswick. I'm a firefighter for my job.
Well, we'll call this the D heat. Duperre versus Dupuis in the standing block chop. It's heat number 3, time to beat. 20.16 hit by the guy from Vermont, Calvin Willard. Who do you like in this heat, the veteran or the young guy?
Tough one to call. I know that Marcel Dupuis, really strong guy. But Gaston, of course, he's an old veteran. He takes a little bit more technique in the standing block. I'd go with him. See Marcel, he's got a miss hit on the bottom. He's got a miss hit on the top. It's going to set him back a bit.
Gaston already on his backside. Marcel behind him at this point. Gaston, a couple of uppercuts, and he's getting ready to drive things off.
Marcel knows he's behind. He's really pulling up the pace here now. You see him chopping fast and furious. But Gaston's putting in his final 2 strokes. He's off and on the ground in 21.3 seconds.
I was watching your chop there, and I was thinking maybe a bad decision to make a turn to the backside. Was it a good decision or bad decision?
For this time, it's the first time it's the good decision because I opened enough at the second side to finish well the chop.
Yeah, you put a couple of drivers up before you made the change, and on the far side?
No.
The near side?
At the near side. Oh, I give 6-6. Everything was good. I know was not enough at the middle, but after 6-6, you turn and you do well. You can have a good time.
Well, 2 heats to go, 4 axemen to go right now. The time to beat still Calvin Willard, 20.16. We head to the next heat. Donald Lambert from St. Gilles, Quebec, taking on Dave Jewett, Pittsford, New York.
They both know that 20 seconds in this 11-inch round is beatable. All they have to do is keep their head, put in a solid chop, and they're going to take that time down.
Well, I know the standing block chop can sometimes be Donald Lambert's nemesis, but Dave Jewett, this has got to be one of his specialties other than the single buck, of course.
And look at Dave Jewett putting in huge drivers. He hung his axe well. What we say, you need to make sure that your axe is hanging out through the wood so you cut all the wood across it. Dave has done that. He's missed his far strokes, but he's going to try to power it off. And Dave Jewett gets it on the ground, 17 seconds and change.
Watching a couple of guys in advance of your chop, were you pretty confident you could do 8 in the front?
Yeah, this wood's been really good. And we had a tournament earlier in the year, the same size, same species wood, and I did 8 and 6. So I thought I could do it again today, but I took one extra hit, so I was 8 and 7. But some good guys still to go, so we'll see if it's going to hold up.
You had that big knot in the back that you slabbed out into that big knot. It wasn't in part of your cut, but it was above your cut, actually. It maybe it created a hanger?
I didn't want that knot where it was. I set it up, and I shouldn't have. I should have redrawn my lines. But I didn't hit it, but when that slab kicked up, that's dangerous. You don't want to hit a slab. The axe can scoop, so it threw my head off a little bit. That's what cost me that extra hit.
My name's Nathan Waterfield from Cherry Valley, New York, and I'm an arborist.
Okay, my name is Jean-Pierre Mercier. I'm living in Saint-Étienne-de-Lauzon, province of Quebec. I'm building crosscut saw for the lumberjack sports.
Well, with standing block heat number 5 about to go up, we got JP Mercier taking on Nathan Waterfield. Now, with 17:30 for Jewett, he lowered the time to beat, but you think he could have been faster?
Not bad at all time for Dave Jewett, but we know watching the replay, he actually stepped down on his second side trying to put his drivers in, took 4 drivers to get it off, could have done it in 2, so he could have had a 15-second chop.
Nice opening there for Nathan Waterfield. A couple of missed hits there. That's going to cost him a few seconds for sure.
That's right. On the second side, you can always get away with it with your drivers, but he would have liked to have been wider. Look at the tough wood here on the backside he's got into.
He's got an open cut there. He opened up to a little bit of a knot. JP struggling in the backside, slowing down a little bit. Nathan's going to win this heat. Nathan wins this heat, but he doesn't win the standing block. Dave Jewett wins it at 17:30. So I counted 8 and 10. I bet you would like to have 2 less than 8 and 8.
Yeah, the plan was 8 and 8, but the block was firmer than I expected. The chips didn't fall out and stiff, and yeah, just wasn't there.
Did you have a bit of a knot there as well in the middle, which caused a little bit of a problem?
Yes and no. You know, the aspen knots usually are not too bad, but it could have been what kept the chip in over driving it off in the back, but all in all, it was an average cut.
There's your classic axeman checking his axe out, making sure the knot didn't ruin it. Dave Jewett puts his away in great shape with a first place finish in the standing block.